Hey everyone, this is Fabrilo and welcome back. And I've decided to make a slightly different a Freudian lapsus here. A slightly different video than usual. We're not going to talk about games, but as you imagine from my lapsus, we're going to talk about movies. Yay! It's always a good thing to do. Since basically the thing is, this is going to be my movies of 2017 video, and I decided to do it slightly differently. I've entirely based this list according to the movie tickets that I was able to find around the house, because like other things, I enjoy to keep my movie tickets for a while at least. I don't know why, I always did. And I like it. So we got a bunch of tickets here, and according to these, so maybe something is missing, I don't know, but according to this, I saw 12 movies. I saw at least 13, because there was another one, but it was not a 2017 movie. It's like an old movie showing theaters because it was an anniversary or something. But apart from that, 12 movies, which it's not bad. I mean, it's one per month. It's not too much, but if you already exclude all the superhero movies that I don't give a crap about, so you remove at least, I don't know, how many movies were there, like 5, 4 or something, that's already a big chunk of movie that I haven't wasted my time with. So don't expect those, of course. You're not gonna find Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Wonder Woman, what's the other one? There's another one that everyone meant. Oh yeah, that's a Wolverine Logan movie. Zero interest in those. And of course, the numbering and everything, it's entirely based on my personal subjective opinion, my own feelings after watching the movies. So naturally, if you can leave video responses or comments, make your own list of movies of the years. That could be interesting. Especially if you watch more than 12 of them, which is probably, I haven't got too much time from cinema this year. But I saw some good heavy hitters, I would say. With some exception. I mean, in here I would say there are 3 movies out of 12 that I can say that were not very good. And the rest I really enjoyed. But let's start it with the first ticket. And that is Murder on the Orient Express. Saw this in November and didn't like it. Of course, this was just another remake. Since we live in the age of no imagination, no creativity, no originality, obviously they just have to shit sequels after sequel after sequel, or remake after remake after remake, naturally, because it's too risky to make new movies financially. That's all it's about. Who cares about creating something new? And yeah, I mean, it's per se, it's not a bad movie because the story, it's nice. I mean, I read the book, I saw the original movie, and that's the problem. If you saw the original movie, there is absolutely no need for this. Absolutely not. That's the whole point. I mean, I saw it because a friend of mine really wanted to watch it. I say, of course, sure. And the things you do for friends, I mean, I really didn't want to watch it because I was very, very, very much against this. But she insisted, so I said, yeah, well, fine. We watched it, and I mean, it's an absolutely unnecessary movie. If you liked it, that's fine, but the original 1973, I think, movie, it's just too perfect. I mean, and I try to remove the nostalgia glasses and everything, and as I said, it's not bad just because it's a remake. It really gets into my nerves because it's a completely unnecessary movie. It has a big cast, sure, but it really felt like a remake without any kind of soul to me. So yeah, I absolutely didn't care about this movie. By far my least favorite of the year. And yeah, of course they're going to remake also the other movie like Death on the Nile, naturally, because why not? So yeah, okay, let's move on. Number 11. This is absolutely, could have been the worst if it wasn't for Murder on the Orient Express, because this is absolutely the most boring movie of the year, and obviously The Red Turtle, without a doubt. What a snore fest. I mean, this movie was so hyped because everyone was talking about, oh, it's the next Studio Ghibli movie, it's the next Miyazaki movie. No, of course not. I mean, Studio Ghibli, for what I know, at least helped in the production and those kind of things. But the movie per se was made by a Dutch artist. And visually, it's not bad at all. I mean, it looks good. But it's so boring. I mean, the main problem to me is the fact that there is absolutely no dialogue except for like a couple of screams. At the beginning of the movie, it's just like the protagonists are yelling on the desert island. I can see not having dialogue, fine, but at least have music. And no, not even that. It was just the rumor of the ocean, waves after waves, for more than an hour. It was hard for me to stay awake. I already told you in a previous video, but like my brother, he fell asleep a couple of times. The guy on my left was snoring. So painfully boring movie. And people treat this like it's a masterpiece and like this. They really hide the plainly and painfully obvious symbolism. So yeah, again, absolutely boring and nothing special. And talking about this kind of movies, just the same thing I was talking about the Orient Express, like sequels, remake, and of course also like squeezing as much as possible nostalgia. In this case, it's all my fault. I mean, together with another friend, we wanted to watch this. Basically, it was a last moment choice, but I say, okay, let's have a blast with this. It's probably going to be garbage, and it kind of was. But at least we'll have a laugh. And then it's Power Rangers. And what can you say? I mean, I saw the show when I was, I think, in between elementary and... No, I was still in elementary school. I liked it back then, of course. I mean, it was bright and colorful and crazy with the rubber suit monsters. I love it as a kid. When I heard about the movie, I was like, really? Are you serious? Power Rangers? Who cares about Power Rangers nowadays? But I saw a trailer or something, I was like, I kind of want to watch this, just for old time's sake. And it's not very good. It's just a bland action movie. But it was enjoyable for what it was, I have to be honest. I enjoyed my time. It was a nice... I enjoyed the 2 hours or something I spent watching this movie. And I admit, like everyone in the theater, don't try to deny it, when there is the scene when you hear the "Go Go Power Rangers," everyone was like, yeah! That was funny. And I was so disappointed they didn't put the supposed like Megadeth cover of the Power Ranger theme. I would have loved that because that's awesome. But unfortunately they didn't. Yeah, because I remember the thing, like as a kid I really liked the whole Green Ranger and all of that, and they kind of changed the story or something. But well, for what it was alright. I didn't mind it. And that reminded me, I think I saw another movie that I just threw the ticket away because I really didn't like it. I think it was this year, I might be wrong, like a dishonorable mention, like The Passenger, I think it's called, the one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I don't remember if I saw it like last winter or early this year. Maybe, or maybe it was last winter, I cannot remember. But if I saw this year, it'd probably be below Power Rangers because it wasn't a very good movie. It was like, I was expecting something better than that. The whole like commercial, like there's a reason why they woke up. No, there isn't. It's such a stupid movie. So obvious, so predictable, terrible movie. So let's move on. So I don't remember if I saw it that year or not, but still, it's not a very good movie. Let's finally move to movies that I actually enjoyed. Finally, Power Ranger was alright in its bad way, in its bad kind of way. So at number 9, we got Nine Fingers. No pun intended. saw this at the London Film Festival. It's a very weird sort of film noir. At least the first part of the movie kind of resembles a film noir. The second part of the movie, which is like, I would say 2/3 of the movie actually, take place into a ship, and it gets very weird. I mean, you can say, at least to me, it looked like a very, very low budget independent movie, but at least it was original. Again, I enjoy its originality. It was interesting directed. It had interesting idea, interesting dialogues. So it was a very weird movie. And I love the fact that at the end, like, it seemed that the movie was over. So people really started to get the hell out of there, because I suppose most people didn't like it. But all of a sudden, you see, like, there was the title, a couple of, like, end credits, and then all of a sudden the movie continued. It was like a sort of, not really post-credit scene, but a sort of a false ending. And you could see there was an entire group of people like, oh, what the hell? So there were still like 5 to 7 minutes of the movie, and then the movie was over. But you can see still old people, like, with jackets and everything, just waiting, like, they didn't know what to do. But Nine Fingers was curious. I mean, the first part of the movie, like the noir part, was really, really well done. I love, like, this typical film noir shots. I don't know, there was this guy at the train station with the whole smoke coming. He's with, like, with the fedora, the trench coat, all of that. I was like, yes, I love this kind of things. So, weird but interesting movie. Very, I think, filling with a film festival that you're supposed to watch this weird and different kind of movies. At number 8, I heard this movie was highly praised by critics. I don't know if it was very successful or not, but I was curious mainly for the main actor. And the movie is Wind River with Jeremy Renner, who I actually like in this sort of like action movie kind of things. And Wind River was very interesting, I have to say. I would have... I mean, the murder mystery, the case per se was not extremely complicated, but I really like the aesthetic of the movie. Like, the director did a very good job, and I liked really much the setting, this very desolate place in Wyoming, I think it takes place all the way there, during the winter, where it's like there's so much snow, as I said, so desolate. You can really feel like the loneliness of these people, and also like it's very important, the whole Indian community kind of thing, since for the most part it involves character from an Indian reservation, which is very interesting. I know almost nothing about those things. Like, I know they have their own police or something, but it's interesting to see how they cooperate with the FBI and this kind of things. It was interesting and well acted, and I think very beautiful directed. The story was nothing special, but I liked some of the characters. And the final shooting, I don't think it was really necessary, other than showing how awesome Jeremy Renner character was in his like sniper mode or something. But overall, it was an enjoyable movie. Again, a bit different from the kind of things you were expecting, like, from movies now. So it was a nice return to this sort of like mystery stories. Although, as I said, the mystery was not that mysterious, but still enjoyable. Number 7. I actually wanted to put this movie one place higher, but then at the end of the day, I think it's the right way. Number 7, it's Only the End of the World, Juste à la fin du monde, by Xavier Dolan. The enfant prodige of Canadian cinema. He's an excellent director. He's really good. But this is not my favorite movie by him, I have to say. I mean, it's very well done. It's excellent, very well done in the directing. It's an interesting story. The acting was pretty good. I don't remember. I think maybe it was from something from theater. I don't remember that. But overall, it was a very good movie. very different from the kind of movies I usually watch, which it's always appreciated. But again, it was not as impactful as Mummy, which I'm pretty sure I saw last year, and that was fantastic. If it was Mummy, this would have been much higher on the list, because that movie, it's superb to watch, and you can just feel all the pain in your heart by the end. This is not on the same level, but it's still a very well made movie. I cannot wait for Xavier's next movie, because he is one of the best directors you can find now in cinema, and he's super young. I think he's much younger than me. Yeah, highly recommend it if you haven't watched it, because it's a very interesting also formula. And I love how Xavier Dolan like puts this like mix of music, and especially like some very trashy stuff. Like all of a sudden you can hear Dragostea Dinte. It was like, what the hell? But it really fits. It's so well done. I mean, he's such a great director. And yeah, so number 7, It's Only the End of the World. At number 6, we got Blade Runner 2049. I can talk for a long time for these, but I keep it short. I liked it. I think it's a good sequel. It's a completely unnecessary sequel. I never wanted a sequel for Blade Runner. That's the main thing. I saw it because, of course, I saw it like day one, basically. And as I said, I like it, but I cannot say it's a masterpiece or something like that. But on the other hand, it's very well directed. Well, Villeneuve is a good director. I love the soundtrack. And that's it, I think. I mean, the story was not very good. I didn't like the story very much, and some of the characters were kinda very incomplete, I would say. Especially the villains. I mean, you have the sort of Terminatrix, but she wasn't interesting. And then there was this whole thing with Jared Leto. It's like, oh my god, Jared Leto! And then his character is there, and it's nothing special. I mean, it's just the usual kind of like guy with a sort of god complex or something. Like, I create life, blah blah blah. And then he's gone. I mean, that's it. So very... I really like, for example, I think... who's this? What's his name? What's his face? It's Ryan Gosling, I think. In general, I don't like him very much as an actor. I think it's quite overrated. But in here, he did a good job. He managed like a good performance. I like the idea of having like a replicant hunting down other replicants. But again, the premise of the story, it's just like, oh, Tyrell, it's down. Now you have a new corporation. I mean, it's just the same. And the whole thing of the son of the replicants and Deckard and the other guy, I really didn't like that. It was painfully obvious. Already saw in like books and other movies. Not interesting. What was interesting, actually, what I liked was this relationship between Kay and that program. I mean, that was very interesting, actually. Like, why, how the program managed to develop feelings for a replicant, or for him, or for someone else. It's just a program. That was very interesting and very well done. I like that. But the rest of the movie was too much I cannot find the right word now. Too much style over substance, in my opinion. I liked it, but if I have to give it a score, which I usually don't, I don't think this movie deserves more than a 7 out of 10. But I don't give scores, so at the end of the day, it's a pretty decent sequel. I absolutely didn't see why Deckard should have been in the movie, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, if it's your favorite movie of all time, that's good. I mean, sure, but personally, nah. I mean, it's number 6. I liked it, of course, but I didn't want this. I didn't want it. That's the main thing. Number 5, this is an interesting one, and it's very similar to Blade Runner for other aspects, but I enjoyed it more, and that is Ghost in a Shell. Of course, there is the whole nostalgia with me and this franchise. I am a super duper fan of the original 1995 anime. It's my favorite anime of all time in terms of movies. I love the Ghost in the Shell series, everything. And I was very excited, actually. Excited, and then at the same time was thinking, do we really need a movie based on something else? Of course, I mean, can you do something else? But so okay, but I give it a chance, even though, as I said, I'm really into the original movie. I see, let's see what they do. But of course, this whole movie, it's completely secondary. The most important thing, it's how dare they put Scarlett Johansson as the main protagonist? Oh my God, such a racist movie. Whitewashing, blah, 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 all that bullshit. Who cares? I mean, I wouldn't pick anyone else. I mean, she was fantastic, I think, as Kusanagi, actually. Or whatever, what's their name, like Kira something, but she's Kusanagi. She did a great job. I mean, she's a good actress. She's awesome in action movies, so what else do you want? If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't waste my time. So, and for certain things, this movie is so similar to Blade Runner. Again, it's not, I don't think, as well directed as Blade Runner, but again, it's a visually outstanding movie. It has a fantastic soundtrack. I think the story is a bit more interesting, even though it's something I already saw, but it has some moments. One thing that I like, it's not just a carbon copy of Ghost in the Shell, the movie, the original, but it tries to do its own thing while here and there like paying homage to the original source material, so you can see some scenes out of the anime, and that was nice. That was really neat for like old school fans like me. So if you didn't like this movie just because you say, oh, it's a racist movie, I mean, just don't waste your time watching movies in general. I mean, watch it for what it is. So, yeah, really liked it, actually. I liked it more than Blade Runner, and they're very, very similar, actually. So, good stuff, good stuff. And I remember that soon after I rewatched the original Ghost in the Shell in cinema for an anniversary or something, and for my birthday, I think, and it's so good, so good rewatching that in cinemas. Number 4, we got maybe I might call this not really the surprise of the year, but the most fun I had watching a movie this year, and that was The Blade of the Immortal. Boy, this was fun. I really enjoyed it. I love samurai movies. This was samurai over the top, and I loved it. I mean, it's from a manga, which I never read. And the cool thing is that I watched this at the London Film Festival, and it was awesome that the director was actually there, like, introducing the movie, and there was a Q&A afterwards, which I couldn't attend, unfortunately. That would have been interesting. But, yeah, that was very, very neat. And the movie was phenomenal. I loved it so much fun. All the sword action, the over-the-top insanity of the story. It's a sort of like, how can I say without spoiling it? Because you need to watch it. It's sort of like samurai damned to be immortal who wants to repent for things he has done in the past. Very cool stuff. Awesome fighting scene. Fun characters, but the main character, of course, steals the show. It's so much fun. It's really, really fun stuff. I love Blade of the Immortal. Number three. Watched this movie today, this morning, and obviously I loved it, and that was The Last Jedi. Star Wars Episode 8. Fucking hell, it was amazing. I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Even though there were attempts to distract me, since for some friggin' reason the screen, the cinema was full with children making so much noise watching the movie. I mean, it's nice to see children enjoying Star Wars, but I was so many times to the point of like yelling, "Shut the hell up! Let me enjoy the movie, stupid kids!" But Nevertheless, I was able to really enjoy my time. I loved it. I think it's much better than Force Awakens, and of course I really enjoyed that. Is it better than Rogue One? Maybe, I would say. I loved it. I really liked the relationship between Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, and Rey. That was very nice. I loved seeing good old Mark Hamill back. The action was amazing. The fight scenes, the lightsaber fighting, all the things that I love about Star Wars. All the explanation with the Force. I never get tired of that. I loved it from beginning to end. I cannot wait to rewatch this. It was so much fun. Originally, I wanted to watch this on a IMAX screen, but of course, like all the convenient times for me during the week were all sold out at evenings and all the day during the weekend. So that was unfortunate, but managed to saw this morning and really enjoy my time. Oh, it was so good. I'm still processing the whole things, but yeah, loved it. Because I loved Force Awakens, but of course there is the nitpick saying like, yeah, it's a bit too much similar to Episode 4, but I still loved it. I really enjoyed it. But with this, at least they really try to push and do their own stuff. It wasn't like a carbon copy of Empire Strikes Back, thank God. You can say it in a way was similar, like the rebels escaping constantly tracked down by the New Order and stuff like that, but it's not as obvious as Force Awakens. So, and that's the whole thing. I didn't mind in Force Awakens. I really enjoyed the movie for what it was, and Last Jedi was really awesome. Really good stuff. You must watch it if you like Star Wars. Who doesn't like Star Wars nowadays? We got so much Star Wars that it's almost getting me annoyed with the stupid Han Solo movie. I don't know if it's when that thing is supposed to come, but I'm not interested. Cannot wait for Episode 9, that's for sure, to see how the story of Rey and Kylo Ren wraps up. And of course, they already announced another trilogy. My God, that's a lot of Star Wars. That's a bit too much, if I have to be honest, but we'll see what happens. It better be Knights of the Old Republic, though. Of course it's not going to, but I can dream. Number 2, I don't remember if this is a 2016 movie, but this ticket says 19th of February 2017, and I love this movie from beginning to end. And my number 2, my second favorite movie of the year was Lion. Such a good movie, such a good story. I still believe that the kid who the performance of Kid Saru was so unbelievably good that he should have been nominated for an Oscar, not tools like Doofus Ryan Gosling or something like that. But whatever. And it's such a wonderful story. The whole search for its own origin by these characters, and the kid is so likable. You're really rooting for him. And when you start to understand what happens, like why he couldn't find its own place when he was a kid, it's even better. And the ending was it's such a good feeling movie. And I remember I was watching it with my brother. We were in the cinema. It was all sold out basically, because of course this movie was a big deal, and everyone was crying. You can see everyone like sniffing and using like tissues and everything. I didn't, because apparently I'm heartless, but even my brother was there like like this. And I was like, yeah, this is very nice. It's very moving, but I cannot cry for something like this. But it was so good. It's such a fantastic movie. If you haven't watched it, shame of you. What kind of human are you? You need to watch Lion. It's fantastic. One of one of my favorite movies in not only this year but in a long time. So good. And number one, my favorite movie of 2017. It's funny, I even write it down on the ticket, like, movie of the year. Of course, it has to be none other than Call Me By Your Name. Wow, what a movie. This made everything right. It's basically says why I love movies so much. I mean, Luca Guadagnino really did a superb job with this. This movie is having like a massive success among critics, and I will say for the right reason. I really hope it wins as much as possible, because these are the kind of movie that should be awarded. I mean, it tells its own stories. It's an original story. It's directed so well. The acting is out of this world. I mean, I don't remember his surname now, but Timothée is so good, and he's so young. I mean, he's been nominated for the Golden Globe. You can see this little kid together with legends like Gary Oldman, Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, and then there is this little kid. Timothée was like, wow, he should really win. They're just in a way to show, let's push the new generation, especially when they're this good. He's a natural. He's such a good actor at the young age. But also, Armie Hammer, I think it's called, is really good as the second main character. I love the story. It's very simple. This self-discovery, a coming-of-age story, understanding your own feelings, and all these things. It has a fantastic soundtrack. I love the fact, that's a very personal point, but I love that it takes place in the mid-80s in northern Italy, which is where I'm from. Not the exact place, but the area. And yeah, I remember the late 80s, early 90s in northern Italy were the best. And certain things, there are these little details that I really appreciated, because it's all, there are things that I remember from my youth, and it was very, oh yeah, I remember those sort of things, like even really small details like the clothing and, I don't know, the backpacks or things that you do during the summer stuff. It's like, yeah, it was like this was our childhood, and that was really a nice, it was pulling the right strings of my heart. But for the technical reasons, as I say, the direction was superb. The acting, the music, the photography, everything. I mean, this is without a doubt the best movie of the year. There's no story to me. It won like by a landslide. There's nothing can top this, I think. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it, because it's fantastic. This, as I said, it's watching movies like this. It really reminds me why I appreciate watching movies in general, because of course I love genres like science fiction, action, and all of that, but I also like more technical things and beautiful, simple stories. Like, well, excuse me, like I always said, like I can say that a simple story, when it's well told, it's much more powerful and effective than a convoluted story that you need 67 sequels. And Call Me By Your Name, it's really the kind of movies that we need to push. Stop with the superhero bullshit, stop with the remakes and sequels. Do original movies. Of course, that's taking a risk, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we need to push the art forward. So, Call Me By Your Name, absolutely my favorite movie of the year. And that's it. Quite a long video, but there was a lot to talk about. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Which were your favorite movies of the year? I didn't see too much, unfortunately, but quite enough. I'm happy with the movies I saw, and yeah, cannot wait for 2018 for the movies. Let's hope they have much more like Call Me By Your Name and Lion and stuff like that, so we can really enjoy our movies. That's it for me. I'm tired. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, like always, and take care.